Okay, so this program, it predicts the day, right, of a certain date. So it gets the input will be like this. So you got like 2/1/2022 or something like that, right? This is 2 January 2022. You can have 2 January 2023, right? Just put in dates like this, and then it will give us what the input should be. This is /0 1. Okay, this will just give us what the day should be. So what I know is that 1st of January 2023, that's Sunday. So based on that, I can predict what day today should be, what tomorrow should be, what some certain date should be, right? Okay, let's go through it. So first, what we do is just get the inputs. So we get what's the day, right, in the month. We get what's the month in the year, and what's the year. So yeah, and then we have this list days, which contains all the days, of course. So 0 will be representing Sunday, 1 will be representing Monday, and so on. So it's like if you are 0 days away from, like, okay, 0 days after 1st January 2023, then it will be a Sunday. If you are 2 days from, so whenever I say from, what I mean is like your date minus 1 January 2023, right? That number, in days, of course, that number, right? That's how much away you are from that date, from 1st January 2023, right? So if you are 1 away from 1st January 2023, that is this date, then it will be a Monday. And then if you are, I don't know, something like 15 away, then that's 15 modulo 7 is just 1 once again, so that's also going to be a Monday. And then 15 away is 16 January 2023. Yeah, right. Okay, that's good and all, but how do you implement all of this? So first we'll create some functions. So first function is just to say if an year is leap or not. So the way that it works in the Gregorian calendar is that if y is a multiple of 400, it's a leap year. If not, then if it's a multiple of 100, it's not a leap year, right? So like 100, 200, 300, these are not leap years. But otherwise, if it's just a multiple of 4 and it's not a multiple of 100, then it's a leap year, alright? And otherwise it's not. So yeah, that function just tells us if it's a leap year or not. Then you have this function, which is very easy to explain. So the days in a year. So if the year is leap, we return 366, otherwise we return 365. Very easy, nothing problematic, right? This is a different function. So this is actually more complicated. So this is the date, this is the days in a month, right? And the parameters are the month in the year and the year as well, because if it's a leap year, then February has like 29 days, so we have to know that. Okay, so if m in 1 3 5 7 8 11 12, we just return 31 directly, right? Because these months always have 31 days, right? We don't want to be checking for the year anymore, right? Else if month is equal to 2, then if it's leap, return 29, otherwise return 28. So m equal to 2, that means it's February, right? And if it's a leap year, you have to return 29. Okay, otherwise if m is in this, so 4 6 9 11, then we return 30. Else print month is not in 1 to 12, which probably won't happen, but still, just to be sure, I have made this case as well. Okay, and you have this thing, days from 1st January. So this takes the date completely, so the day, the month, and the year, it takes all those as parameters, and it only gives the days from the 1st Jan of that particular year, so of the year y. Okay, so first we do days equal to 0, just to set what days should be, right? We'll increment this variable later on. Okay, then if the month is 1, we just return day minus 1, right? So for example, if it's like 2 January, then we just return 2 minus 1, so that's 1 day from 1st January, right? Otherwise, if m is not equal to 1, it's more than that, then for I in range 1 to m, so this is the list containing, like, I shouldn't say it's the list, but yeah, so this is the array, fine. So this contains 1 2 3 4 all the way till m minus 1. So every month before your current month, right, we want to increment this variable by the days in month of that month, right? Yeah, and the year will be y of x. Okay. Then once that's done for the current month, so what did we do? We just added the like all the number of days in all the months till m minus 1, right? So think about it. If you are at 1st Jan and you add 31 to it, that's the days in month 1 comma whatever year it will be, because January always has 31 days, right? Then it will become, so after 31 days it's gonna become 1 February, right? And suppose it's like not a leap year, and you just add 28 because February, right? Then it becomes 1 March, right? January, February, March, and it keeps going like that. So we just, like, this is the value of D, capital DI, capital M, right? For like M equal to, okay, let's just forget about the year completely. Let's just assume that year is going to be 300 and that the year is going to be like not a leap year. Fine. Then our DIM, that only takes the month as a parameter, right? So yeah, for a not leap year, this will be just DIM of what is going to be, okay, 1, and this is DIM of 2, and so on. So you know, you will keep adding like all these things up. DIM of 3, let's just say that your current month is November, so you will add all of this up till DIM of 10. So after adding DIM of 10, you are at this point 1/11, right? So now you're at 1st of November. Now from this, if you want to go to the current date, which is D11, right, then what you have to do, just have to subtract D minus 11, and that's why we are adding D minus 11, D minus 1. Why am I saying 11? Okay, it should be D minus 1, right, to jump from there to there. So those many days, we add that to days, right, and then we return days. So okay, that's the days from 1st Jan, and then this thing is days from 1st Jan 2023. So pretty much the same stuff that we did with months, but now with years, right? So we create days, and it will contain days from 1st Jan now, right? So yeah, like, how do I explain this? First, we just want to get how much far away is the 1st Jan of that particular year from 1st Jan 2023, for which I have written all of this code, right? And then we'll just add to that the amount of days that your current date is away from 1st Jan of that year, right, which is this thing. So that's why, okay, so I'm doing it the backward way. So I'm first adding this number to days, and then I'm adding that number, right? But it's still pretty much the same thing. I don't want to be explaining all of this code, because it's almost the same as this, except now it's using the days in year, right? Yeah. Oh, and also we can actually go backwards. So you know, like right now it's 2022, so we can go backwards as well, right? So I can also subtract, yeah. So like if I say how much away is 31 December of 2022 from 1 January 2023, and that's gonna be -1 days. That makes sense, right? So we can also get negative numbers, and yeah, it's still pretty much the same thing. Okay. Alright, after all of this is done, we'll return days, right? And now we have this function which tells the day of a certain date. So first we'll define days as a global variable, because otherwise, you know, think of it as like a not defined variable in this scope. Okay, capital D is equal to days from 1st Jan 2023. What we'll do is we'll divide this by 7, right? Take its mod, and then we'll return days, the list days, yeah, this thing, right? That's why I did global days, and the index capital D, right? So if this is 0, then it will just give us Sunday, because 1st Jan of 2023 was going to be Sunday, and if it's 0 days away from it, it should be this thing. And even if it's like multiple of 7, we don't really change anything, because like going up by a week, that's still the same, right? That's still the same day. So that's why modulo 7, right? And this is actually very well known. I don't want to explain this. Okay, so then it returns days, yeah. And what's this thing? Oh yeah, this is just a check. So it's to check if the date that I input is actually in the correct format or not, right? Yeah, so you don't have to worry about this. So yeah, let's try to run this. Okay, first we have to put a date. All right. I don't know. Let's just see what's my birthday going to be in the next year. All right, and it's going to be Saturday. Well, that's awesome. It's a Saturday. That means like you can watch movies and whatnot at my birthday. Anyway, let's just figure out some other thing. Let's run this again. So that was only. Okay, actually, this is not that bad. But the year was 2023. We want to have something else, right? Let's figure out what's today, right? So today is December 4, 2022, of course. So 4/12/2022, right? And now everything is going to be weird because the year is back. I mean, the year is less than 2023, which is a zero marking point, right? The month and so the month is also not January, right? So yeah, it is. This should run, and if it runs, that means our program is correct. So it's Sunday, and today is Sunday, in fact. So there we go. This program runs. Okay. So that's it, and I'll see you guys next video.